Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to another Gemstone Legends video. And in this video, I am going to do what you can probably see I'm doing and what you know from the title of the video. I want to talk through the build that I did for Celeste. Some spoilers here right now, but let's talk about it. If you saw my last video, I pulled a couple astral scrolls before the boost actually because this is the hero that I wanted the most, and if I pulled during the boost, I was going to be more likely to get a hero that I didn't want quite as much. So I used those before the boost. Here's the result. I've gone full steam ahead in terms of tomes and awakening. I think this hero is absolutely worth it. We're going to talk about why and exactly what kind of build I have gone for here. Alright, so the first thing you want to do when building a hero is let's take a look at the special skill. So when fully maxed as it is, heals all allies consecutively. First is healed by 35% of their max HP. Each subsequent ally is healed by the same value, reduced by an additional 20%. Restores mana to all allies consecutively. First ally recovers 35 and then reduced by 20%. So, I feel like if you had 3 of these on a team, you would just have an infinite mana loop. But that would be hugely costly to have, but I'm sure someone has tried that. So nothing in there really about the build, except that you maybe want to be thinking about defense, HP, speed. If we look at the other part here, if she is above 40% at the start of her turn, she restores 5 mana to all allies. If she is below 60% HP, at the start of her turn, she restores 5% of target's max HP to all allies. So an interesting thing about this is you can be above 40% and below 60%, right? If you're at 50%, you're above 40 and you're below 60. So then you're getting both of these effects. So how can you make this hero most likely to receive both of those effects? Not that you want to be low on HP, but the way you would do that is you want to have as much HP as possible. One thing to keep in mind when doing that is, as far as I'm aware, the AI will target heroes with the lowest defense. It seems like at times they have calculated HP into that in terms of like who they will pick on your team if you're raiding someone or you're doing a war attack or something like that. So yeah, you don't want to ignore defense, but you want to have a bunch of HP with this hero, and then I would say defense secondary, though defense is still important. All right, so that kind of informs what we want to do. So what I've done is I have tried to use the Hope set, the little horseshoe there. If you're unfamiliar with the Hope set, 25% chance to gain 100 mana whenever the hero uses their special ability. So if this triggers, which it will approximately 1 in 4 times, you are getting double the mana. So the first person that is getting targeted on your team is going to receive 70, which is significant. The thing to keep in mind is that because of this set being equipped, you can't prioritize speed or other stats that you might with those set bonuses. So very powerful set bonus. However, I'd say if you're trying to decide what to use for if you have this hero or just are trying to learn about equipping heroes in general, you want to make sure that you're not using a set with terrible pieces just for the set bonus. That's going to start to offset the value of that set bonus. If you have really bad pieces, say you have attack boots, attack armor, and attack gloves, that's going to be a really bad fit for her, and it will make it harder for her to survive and harder for you to utilize this hero in the way that you would want to. So I'll walk through the pieces that I'm using here. You can see speed is subpar. Part of that is because I can't use a set bonus that is going to contribute any speed, and her speed is just about as low as it comes at 199. So the eagle-eyed will notice that I must have speed boots on if I'm getting plus 84, and that is true. So real quick, mana gain under 20, but she's getting mana from all colors, so that's not so bad. Speed 283, quite slow, so it'll be interesting to see how to work with her in a team. Res pretty low at 31. It'd be nice to offset accuracy in favor of res, but you know, I didn't have a lot of hope pieces, so I had to use what I had. I think I did pretty good still. Defense just shy of 3,000. It'd be nice just to have that, 3,200 maybe. So I'll keep trying to improve that in the future. Attack 2271. HP pretty close to 50k, which is quite nice. So let's look at these pieces. All right, first up, we've got some speed boots. They do have some HP added, but it's not a percent stat, so not ideal. I might be able to find a better pair of boots, actually, since I was going to try to go with the life set or the defense one. I can't remember what it's called for the gloves and boots, but I have such a shortage of HP percent or defense percent gloves that have speed substats because I put those on a lot of my support heroes. So this is what we have right now. Nice defense rolls at 20%, so that's helping a lot. I wouldn't want to forego that just because her defense is already so low. So yeah, I did happen to have an HP set of armor in the hope set, unfortunately. 3 rolls on crit damage, which is absolutely useless to me here. It would have been really nice to have speed. Res would have been okay too. Some defensive substats would have been great here. This is just not an ideal piece for a lot of the heroes that you would probably use the hope set on. Defense gloves. I chose these because of the high speed stat. I'm trying to speed her up as much as possible. It would be nice to have her over 300, but I don't think that's going to be possible unless I get some more really good hope stuff that I can switch up. It's rough because you need 4 pieces of hope gear to get that 25% chance. All right, so, and we're wasted on some accuracy and attack that doesn't affect her at all. So the shield here, which looks more like a cup, if you actually look at the picture, we do get some HP, a percent. We do get some speed, which is pretty lucky. The rolls are not perfect on this. It would have been nice to the non-percent HP for that to have gone into speed. That would have been great. Or, crit rate to be defense. But sometimes with these more sophisticated or rare sets, you just have to take what you can get. All right, helmet is just for the bonus. Those first 2 pieces are pretty good for her, aside from some of the rolls. This one, at least we have a little bit of HP on it. Other than that, more accuracy, that doesn't help. These were pieces that I was considering putting on Umi, the other another astral epic that places ailments, and she can put a lot of them with the hope set. So we'll see. I'll keep trying to sort of farm more of this gear and make some changes. But so this is the first pretty non-ideal piece. The other ones so far are pretty solid, not elite tier or anything like that, but pretty solid. This one is just for the bonus, unfortunately. And then here we've got a bit more speed, res, and HP. So this is pretty solid. Not elite rolls. Again, I would forego the res in favor of speed just because of how slow she is without any of those bonuses. And the HP is just nice because that is a primary part. So all in all, I think I've done pretty well with what I had. And I did tuck this on defense increase by 10%. I don't know if I'll level it up. It's just to give her, a bit more. And yeah, that's where we're at. The Awakening gives her more HP, so that is factoring in addition to just overall boosts. So I think maybe I'll assemble some kind of team. I haven't actually used her yet because I just finished this. So I think I'll assemble some kind of team, jump into a raid, and give you guys an idea of what you can expect to see. So we'll treat this as a build video and sort of just a review of her as a hero. But yeah, she's pretty awesome. Also, I don't know if anyone watched Westworld, but I can't remember her name right now. Kale is her last name, maybe? She's like one of the board members from Westworld. She becomes a main character, but this kind of looks like Charlotte Hale, not Kale. She kind of looks like her. All right, so yeah, let me put a team together and we'll jump into some raids here and see what we can see. All right, so for the moment, I just popped her into kind of like a lazy raiding team of mine, just attempting to stun lock. I put her in place of where I usually put Sigil for the mana gain, but her mana gain overall is even better, I think. Sigil gives, I think, 20 to all 5, so that would be 100 total. And this is like 35, 20, not sure. But she's also healing at the same time, but Sigil's also removing ailments, so kind of they're not exact substitutions for one another. So we'll just give this a try. We have a fully awakened, 60 defense team, not super elite, it doesn't look like, but we'll do another raid after this. But I just want to see her in action, see what kind of heal we can get. Again, this is max awakened and tomed, so that'll give you some idea of what you can expect, and if the tomes are worth it, since these are a more precious resource, if you will. I'm also curious what it's going to take to charge her up. I don't really understand how that works. So she's got a mana gain of 19. With the tomes, it's reduced by only 40%. So I think she's going to charge pretty quick, but we'll count tiles overall. So we have 6, and then this move's going to give us 12 tiles. And then she also received 30 mana, so I'm not really sure what to expect. Damn. Interesting. Okay, so that is really interesting to see. Her speed is slow, but because it's so easy to charge her, like with Strybog on the team and just matching 12 tiles, she was ready to go. So if you have 2 fast speed heroes on your team, I almost think I could put non-speed boots on her as long as I have her in the right team, because she doesn't need to get her turn right away for her to be useful. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to think about, because follow me here for a second. If she's very slow, she's already charged. As long as there's a fast hero that has a turn, she can use her special, so she doesn't really need that turn. She does have benefits for her turn, so I would say you don't want to just give her no speed, but I'm curious if I should build her more defensively and not worry about speed, since that's less critical with how easy it is to charge her in any color. All right, so let's go here. And she's going again. Epic. So let's see if we can get both of these guys charged. Yep. I don't know if anyone wants to count up that total mana there. It looks like it was 35. What would be 20% less would be a fifth of that, which would be 7. So then 28. So it's kind of like multiples of 7. So it'd be, oh God, I don't know if I can do that math. All right, we'll see if we can do this. So 35 plus 28 would be 63, plus 21 would be 84, plus 14 would be 98, plus 7. So it's a little bit more than Sigil across the team, but the fact that you can set who gets, or you can choose who gets the highest amount. I wasn't paying attention to the heal at all. So yeah, pretty cool. And then again, we don't need that many tiles to recharge her. Okay, this is pretty awesome. She's firing quite a bit. So basically, oh man, so we got unlucky that time with the distribution of where the mana goes. That's the thing, is after the first one, it's just totally random. But oh my god, with the hope set, she is just firing constantly. Holy shit. These astral heroes, huh? Pretty good. Who knew? Alright, let's hit auto here. So yeah, the hope set's not going to go off too often. So again, you don't want to forego decent stats just to try to make that happen. But pretty freaking good. And she can really speed up a team. So if you're using these astral heroes, let me know how. I think it's reasonable that for most people, it's just going to be limited on what they have. You know, which of these heroes you were able to get. But if you are using them, I'm curious what applications. I've heard from some people in my guild that they really like the taunt, the epic hero with taunt for raid bosses. Obviously, the legendaries are just quite strong. But let me know how you're using them. I think that kind of information is helpful. And based on my first experience here, I am quite impressed. So quite curious now. We've got another raid here. I switched up the dragon to be just more in line with the kind of stun lock thing we're going for. There's nothing too elite. I've fallen down in the arena lately. I got sick twice, and it's just impacted my time and all that kind of stuff. So I do want to start pushing up higher to start testing against some of these tougher teams. But for now, I'm just taking what I can get, and nothing too crazy here. Our power is higher, but not by a ridiculous margin. But we'll see how we do again. I was thinking more about my theory of if you have two fast heroes, one of them being Strybog, then you can get her ready. She doesn't have to be fast. You can fire before the other team would have their turns potentially. It's not necessarily going to be enough. You need to have a decent opening board. I think with the 30 mana from Strybog, she needs 12 tiles fully tomed, of any color to charge. And that, if they're just random color tiles and they don't fit the function of your team or the color of your team, then her mana is not going to be the deciding factor of whether you can get some specials going. So I don't know exactly the best way to build her. Maybe I just leave her as is. She's going off so often that healing doesn't seem to be a problem. So yeah, I was just looking down being like, why have I already taken damage? All right, so now we'll go for some... We're just trying to match as much as we can. Well, she'd be crazy with the relic that gives boosted healing and protective shield and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we'll get some stun going on. Vulnerability. Probably will charge Aurora too. I think I did my math wrong earlier because it's ending on 3 for some reason, but 20% of 35 is going to be, or 80%, 20% less is going to be 28. And then I don't know if they do 20% of that number or an additional 20% off of the first number. I'm not sure. So again, somebody might know that better than I. And what's the healing like? I guess we're fully healed, so there's no healing. What? Oh man, that's annoying. Not quite enough. Okay. Well, I'm not going to complain about her as she gives a crazy amount of mana and fires so often. Alright, so we basically just stun locked them the entire time here. Really fun hero. If you didn't see the pull video, it's not that exciting because I only did 2 astral scrolls, but that's not an insignificant amount. But yeah, there were 5 epics at the time. I already had 3 of them, and I got the last 2, her being the final one that I got, which was just very exciting. So really happy to have her. Hopefully this video is helpful to people who have her, are wondering about how to invest, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, please do share your thoughts in the comments down below. Also hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more of these kinds of videos. It really does help out the channel, and I really do appreciate it. So show your support, and I'll keep up the work. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.